All right, hello BIO178. In this video, I'm going to give just a brief tutorial to show you how to use this RStudioBinder option for completing this week's lab. If for whatever reason you are not able to get the RStudio installed on your personal computer to install packages, execute code, or whatever. So what you'll want to do is go to our Week7Lab module. So go to our Week7Lab. We'll go to this RStudioBinder option page and then click this link to launch this RStudioBinder that I've created specifically for our class. I know it says BIO100, but I promise it's for our class. It's for 178. I just made it this weekend just for us. And so what this is going to do is load for you this pre-configured RStudio environment where it already has the packages that we need installed. I've installed them. It already has some of the files that we'll need to use for the labs already installed in this environment. Essentially, this is a way for me to give you this pre-packaged RStudio online environment that you can then complete, execute code, create graphs, that kind of thing through this environment without having to deal with the issues that many of you have been running into, unfortunately, with installing packages and whatnot. So this really is a response to what I've been hearing from you, especially regarding the last RStudio lab we did, just not working well for a lot of you. So that's why I've created this option for you. I still recommend, as best as you can, try to do it on your personal laptop in the RStudio that's downloaded on your laptop or your desktop computer. But if you're running into a bunch of issues that you're not able to troubleshoot, this is an option. So you click that link, it opens this RStudio environment for us. And we are in week 7 now. So if you click that week 7 folder, it already has pre-installed here for you a code handout and the data that we'll need. So let's click on this code handout, and I want to point out a couple things. First of all, this code handout is different from the other one that's posted on Canvas. That's because it's slightly different what you'll need to do if you're doing this through the RStudioBinder or if you're doing it on your actual machine. So this version is a little bit different. One of the things that's different is that, like I said, these packages are already pre-installed here in this environment, so you don't need to install them. All you need to do is first just load those packages. So I'm gonna not go through everything I did in the other tutorials with the details of the analysis we're doing. I'm just gonna point out some differences specific to this RStudioBinder environment. So let's go ahead and execute this code here to load those packages. And this is another difference here. So when we're reading in the data, note that I've had to adjust the path for our data file given this RStudioBinder environment. So like I said, if we go to our home directory here, the data file that we need is not in the home directory, it's in this week 7 folder. So the code that's in the other code handout on the Canvas page just has the name of the file. If we try that here, it's not going to work because it's not the correct path to the file. So what we need to do is keep that there. So we're telling this RStudio environment here that our file is in the week 7 folder, and then that's what it's called. So if we execute that, now it works. We have our abalone data loaded in. So if we keep going through here, we can make sure our data are loaded correctly, continue on with the analyses. Again, please view the other tutorial videos to provide some additional info about what we're actually doing in all of these steps. But here, what we've done now is create this survival plot graph, which is what you need to include on your lab report. And when we're saving this, it's a little bit different. So you want to export, save as PDF, and let's save it in that week 7 folder. And we'll call it survival rplot. We'll save that. So the really important thing to know about this RStudioBinder environment is that it's all temporary. So anytime you close this and come back and reopen a session, it's not going to save anything that you did. So any images that you create, graphs you create, you have to export them immediately, they're not going to stay in this environment. It's just a temporary environment. So if we go to our files now, this is that survival R plot we just created. So if you want to save this plot to include it, and actually I think I should have saved it as landscape. Let's go back. Yeah, let's save it as landscape. Okay. So what that file currently is saved as a PDF in this directory. Again, it's temporary. If you close this to come back later, it's not going to be there. So what you can do to save it is click on this. The PDF will open in a new window. And then what you can do is download that there. Now it'll download to your actual desktop, and then you can have that graphic to save for future reference for your lab report. So that's the basics of how to use this RStudioBinder environment. If you have taken BIO100 recently, or you're currently taking BIO100, this is exactly the same interface that we're using. I asked Dr. Visker for recommendations for how to set this up for us. So what I'll do is every week I'll keep adding to these folders different data and packages that we need. So this is here for you as an option to hopefully reduce some frustration that a lot of you let me know you were having regarding getting RStudio to work. So hopefully this will make things a little bit easier.